I'm growing different varieties of Coleus for many years, and this video contains all essential points for you to keep your Coleus in a perfect shape, whether outside or indoor. For each point that I'm discussing during the video, I'll provide more detailed video that if you are interested, you can watch them too. I divided my video into 9 major points, and first one is a watering. Always keep in mind for Coleus, underwatering is much better than overwatering. Underwatering maybe make your plants wilted, but they will recover very fast. You can see in this video, Coleus plants perfectly recover in 2 to 3 hours after watering when they are wilted. But if you keep overwatering, after months, roots will die and your plants will be dead. So to avoid rotten roots and killing roots, try to avoid overwatering and always wait to have some dry potting mix at the top, then add water. If you are outdoor, just do the watering. Depends on the moisture of the moisture. And if you are doing it indoor, wait to have a layer of the dry potting mix in the pot and then add water from top, or if you have a tray under your pot, you can do watering from bottom. Second thing is a pruning. Pruning is critical for Coleus. The pruning will be in 2 sections. Second, it will be pruning to have a bushy plant, and third one will be pruning to make your plants like tree or bonsai-like Coleus. To make your plant bushy, as I'm showing in the video, you need to do heavy pruning. If you have a big plant, just try to do heavy pruning and remove the branches, and let's make your plants more bushy. If you have a smaller plant, prune top leaves of your plants and keep some leaves so your plant will start to be more bushy. For making your plants like tree or bonsai, you can have 2 different approaches. Sometimes you want to have a tall plant and then have a bushy tops like tree, so you need to remove all branches from down and leaves and keep plants growing, less plants to be tall, and then start pruning from tops and make your plant bushy at the top, so it will be like tree. But if you want to make your plants like bonsai, you can see in this video I did a pruning on these bushy plants, and after months this become results. You can see these are very like woody, and then many leaves grown, and even I did pruning couple of days ago, so these plant will be like tree, like bonsai, and also bushy at the same time. Fourth and fifth points will be about propagations. So for propagation, you have 2 ways. First one is through cuts, and second one is through seeds. Which one is better? I prefer through cuts, but sometimes you have seeds. For cuts, you have 2 ways. One, to put the cuts in the water and wait for a couple of weeks, up to 3 weeks. Then roots will appear, and you will see healthy roots, and then you can transfer in a potting mix. And second one is to directly put the cut into potting mix, and that will be fast. Both ways will work perfectly. I think putting them in a potting mix directly will be a little bit faster, and the advantage of the using cuts than seeds, you will establish exactly same plants in much faster way. Just keep in mind for cuts, you need to have 1 or 2 nodes to be in a water or potting mix, and you need to keep 2 to 4 leaves at the top. About seeds, if you have seeds, those small tiny black seeds from Coleus, just you need to put them, saw them on the potting mix. Even you don't need to cover them, add water and wait for a couple of weeks. Put them in a place warm and keep the potting mix moist, and after a couple of weeks you can see your small tiny Coleus plant start to grow. number 6 and number 7 will be about slides, whether your plant is in indoor or outdoor. If you have an outdoor place and you have a Coleus outdoor, you shouldn't be worried. It's good to mention the Coleus, they don't need very long hours of sunlight, but having some sunlight, especially morning sunlight, will help them to have very nice shades and perfectly colored. So that's a point about the place. But still, I think Coleus will be perform any place outdoor very nicely, especially during warm seasons. Second is indoor. Indoor is important because Coleus normally are not indoor plants, they are landscape plants. But personally, I'm growing them for many years indoor. For indoor, whether you have in North Hemisphere, if you have a south side window, that will be a perfect place for Coleus. I'm keeping many of my Coleus close to south side window, so always they are happy all year long. If you don't have a south side window or you don't have enough space close to your window, you can use other windows, but LED lights will be good options too. So there are many different LED lights, but some type of LED lights perform better. That needs a longer video that I will mention at the end of the video. Point number 8. I learned this point in a hard way. If you keep your Coleus indoor, and if you live in a warm place, like in the summer or in a warm country, you need to have a good air circulation. Because in humid countries or humid places, when humidity is high, usually potting mix is not drying very well. And if you don't have air circulation, that will be worse. In previous summer, I had reconstruction in my building and I didn't have access to good airflow and air circulation in my apartments. And usually humidity is very high in Montreal in Canada in summer, and I lost many of my Coleus for that reason. And also in combination with light. So keep in mind, airflow, air circulation is important, especially in those regions that they have high humidity in warm seasons. Finally is about fertilizer. Usually Coleus, they don't need fertilizer, but in some cases adding fertilizer will help your plant to flourish in a better way. So if you keep your Coleus outdoor, sometimes adding general fertilizer is good for Coleus, something like 10-10-10 for NPK or 20-20-20, it will work nicely. But if you keep your Coleus indoor, that's depend on what you want. If you have a smaller pot and you want to have a bushy plant, so adding higher nitrogen will help to make your plants happier. I talked about 9 important points about Coleus, but here I'm showing you some of my videos that I think you will learn more details about this process. First one is about the pruning of a small Coleus plant. If you have a small Coleus plant and you want to make it bushy plant, watch this video. Second one, if you want to make your plant like tree or bonsai-like, I recommend to watch this video. If you want to know more about how to propagate Coleus, this video is full of details for all ways to propagate Coleus, and this video is about using seeds to propagate Coleus. For lighting, especially for Coleus that you keep indoor, I will recommend to watch these 2 videos. And I talked about LED lights that I'm using mostly for my Coleus plants and other plants indoor, so you can see which LED lights will make sense for you. Finally, if you want to know more about the fertilizer, please watch this video. By the way, if you like my video and if you like this channel, please subscribe and join me in this journey